whether we are part of the toxicity or we rose above it, or we growing above it, or we outgrowing it. We all are an example to somebody. Peace to the Cosmic Consciousness Family and Soul Drive. Stillness in abundance. Love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance. Love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance. Love and light, health and wholeness. I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all. Radiating, operating, vibrating, emanating. Being the most beautiful and brilliant version of your best self, of your highest self, and of your present self. You hear me? Fully present in mind, fully present in your emotions, fully present in your thoughts, and fully aware in the presence of your body. You hear me? All those things, all those parts, because it's all about self-mastery, ain't it? You hear me? I just came through to say a few things, you know. It's important to ask ourselves, what type of reality are we creating? what destiny are we creating for ourselves? You know? It's amazing how we all have conversations with ourselves, within ourselves, amongst ourselves. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But what's important is the type of conversations that we have with ourselves, in ourselves, amongst ourselves. You hear me? Walk with me. Because it has a lot to do with how we grow through what we must grow through. It has a lot to do with how we mature and what we must mature through. It has a lot to do with how we develop through what we have already experienced and how we're developing and what we're currently experiencing. See, because we ain't learned from the things that we already don't experience. 9 times out of 10, we probably still reacting the same way in current experiences. You hear me? But it has a lot to do with the example that we be to others. You know, all of our experiences, regardless of what we have experienced, and all that we have experienced has been for a reason. You know, and we hear it all the time. Everything for a reason. Everything for a reason. And yeah, it sounds good when you know, when you hearing it. If you on the good side of it. But what about when we ain't? Everything for a reason. What about when everything being for a reason is from an unwanted experience? What about when everything for a reason is from an uncomfortable experience? See, because it's so many so many double standard ass people on the planet. It don't even make no sense. In the form of spirituality, in the form of spiritual consciousness, there's so many double standard ass people. You know, we need to know how to listen to what we're hearing. And if you ain't listening to that, you just missed it. So I'm gonna say it again. It's important to know how to listen to what we're hearing, especially in the things that we view physically. You know, this world it's full of illusions. You know, and a lot of the illusion has been made real, not because somebody else made it real or the system made it real or the, you know, all the external things that we could point out, because if you're old enough to be listening to this message, that means some responsibility has to take place. That means some accountability had to take place, because it's easy to blame everybody else for the experience that we be having, and not take accountability and responsibility for how we allowed us the experience to happen in the first place. You hear me? Life is an amazing thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know? And when the bullshit play out, it's time to grow up. That means you gotta get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, or you can keep going through the same loop. Other things that you've been used to giving yourself. And I can relate to that, because I was used to going through the same loop of the same things that I was used to giving myself, because that's what I was used to, until I decided something needed to be altered. You hear me? You know? Yeah. I know what that's like. So I hope I'm not talking to nobody that's in that place, you know, because if you in that space, you know yourself it ain't the space you want to be. And if you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. If you in that place, you know it's not a space that you want to be, because it's not a space to be in. But if you in that place, you know yourself that it's a space that you don't want to be in. But I hope that's not the case. And in the event that is, ask yourself, ain't it time for change? Anybody finding themselves in any kind of negative loop, continuous negative loop, ask yourself, ain't it time for a change? And you can apply that in any area of your life. Ain't it time for a change? Because change ain't gonna happen till you do. Your life don't change if you don't. You hear me? So your life don't change if you don't. Change don't happen until you do. You know? Who am I talking to? Because we knew everything we would need to know before we got here. But it's what happened after we got here. See, it's what happened after we get here. Everything a baby need to know from the time of conception. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. Because babies don't start in the womb. That's when we know they have made it on this side. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. Babies don't start in the womb. That's when we know they have made it to this side. You see? But we knew everything we would need to know before we got here. Then once we got here, we forgot. We forgot because life is a living experience. You know, life is a learning experience. You know, that's gonna test us as we develop through it. That's gonna test us as we grow through it. You know, that's gonna test us as we learn how to become one with it. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. You know. And we get lessons on so many levels once we get here. You know, they either help us forget what we're supposed to remember, or help us remember that we ain't come here to forget. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. We get the teachers on so many levels. First, we get them on those who we assigned to come here through, our parents. Then we get them through our own. See? And I ain't even count all the experiences that we get to learn from all the people, from all the other people, places and things, you know, that's connected to what we connected to through our attachments. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it, you know? Yeah. It's amazing. How life is a learn as you grow process. You heard? But What type of reality are we creating for ourselves? What type of reality are we creating for ourselves? I just came through to provoke us to think, to be a form of encouragement, the motivation, the inspiration that y'all always know me to be, Salute to the Cosmic Consciousness family and Slow Tribe. Salute to the new subscribers. Salute to the peekaboos and passerbys. Thank y'all for your time, energy, effort, you hear me, and attention, If you listen, you will walk away with something, that you can apply in your life, or that give you something to look at in yourself so you can make the proper applications in your life necessary for the upgrade that you would like to see, in your life. It's yours. Remember that. And remember, block out the distractions and focus on what makes you happy. That's a quick way to feel good for no reason at all. You hear me? My name is Sabu. Thanks for the like, share, subscribe. Thanks for y'all who shop with me. I do got the shirts. You hear me? If you see something you like, holler at me. My email is in the description, so forth and so on. We have some questions, holler at me. My email in the description. Thank you to you who comment. And the love and support in all shapes and forms. I appreciate y'all too. My name is Sabu. Peace.